Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions, and we're going to continue our discussion about transferring from QuickBooks Desktop to QuickBooks Online. In this video, we're going to actually talk about the transfer process. If you haven't already watched my first video about how to determine if it makes sense for you to transfer from desktop to online, please go and watch that first. But if you're ready to dive into the actual transfer process, this video will go over that for you. In saying that, QuickBooks does recommend that you use a pro advisor, use someone who's trained in transferring to do this with you and for you, as even though it is a simple process, things can happen and things can go wrong. So having a pro advisor, having someone who's used to doing the transfer for you, will significantly simplify the risk going on and generally make the transition period a lot easier. The other thing is moving from desktop to online is you're kind of looking at several of these images up here. They don't look at all similar. So having someone to help train you on how to use the system, because it is going to be a lot different, even though fundamentally and functionally it's going to be the same, the actual actions are going to be different. So having someone to train you on that is also a very good idea. So where we left off last time was checking out this product information screen. And one thing that I want to hit on is I talked about the C drive, and if you don't have this version on a C drive, so that's going to be that you have a server in your office that it's located on, or you're using a virtual server like Right Networks. If you have a server in your office that has a monitor on it, you can just do the transfer directly from that server. That's generally the easiest thing to do. If you do not have that server in your office with a monitor on it, you're going to need to download a trial version of QuickBooks Enterprise to your computer. You're then going to need to download a backup file from your computer or from the server onto your computer or from Right Networks onto your computer. Or same thing happens if you're using a desktop version older than 3 years past the current date. So again, this is 2020, and so we would need a 2017 or newer version. So if you have an older version than that, if you're located on a server without a screen, or if you are located on Right Networks, you can go online to QuickBooks and get a free 30-day trial version of the most recent version of QuickBooks Desktop. Download that and then open up your backup file onto that version of QuickBooks there. I'm not going to go into detail on that because not everyone has to do that, but just be aware that that's what you're going to have to do if you fall into any one of those three categories. One other thing I want to hit on with older versions, I have run into where people are using version 2009 and it's 2020, 11 years old. You do not want to jump your version more than 3 years at a time. You can generally go back into archives with QuickBooks and get versions that are 3-4 years old. Or you can call QuickBooks and they might be able to find an older version. But if you are on a old version of QuickBooks, more than 3 years old, more than 5 years old especially, this is going to be another place where I strongly recommend that you work with a certified pro advisor who is used to doing transfers with QuickBooks Online. At the same time, not just working with a pro advisor used to doing this, because they'll also help you with training and everything, but people who are located on servers or located on Right Networks, this is also a good idea for you to do, as it will simplify the process and make it easier on you. So if we've gone through and let's say we've got just a simple transfer from a QuickBooks Desktop 2019 or 2020 file, we're below the 350,000 targets, we're located on the C drive, and we've already made sure that we're in single user mode. That means we're ready to go ahead and move into doing the transfer from desktop to online. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you back up your company. Come into File, choose Backup Company, and create a local backup and save it on your computer. It's always good to do just in case something goes screwy during the transfer. You know that you've got a backup before it happened and it's exactly where you were before everything happened so that you can restore. Always a good idea to do. From there, once we've done that, we want to make sure that we go ahead and we set up a new QuickBooks Online file. So come into QuickBooks Online, you've already decided which version you're going to do. Go ahead and decide that you're going to buy it and tell it which one you're going to do. It'll walk you through the purchase process. So if we do buy now right now, it'll have us sign up for email, mobile number, password, etc., etc. Put in all of our information to purchase it. And then it's going to take you, excuse me. There we go. Then it's going to take you to a screen like this. And all we want to do is we want to put in who your company name is, what you do, what industry you're in, and then choose that you've been using QuickBooks Desktop and want to bring over your data. Once you do that, log out. Go up to the gear icon in the top right corner and just choose sign out. Once you've done that, we can come back to QuickBooks, and now we can go to the company tab, the company setting up top, and choose to export your company file to QuickBooks Online. From there, it's going to run several checks and make sure that just double check your eligibility. And then it's going to bring up a page that's going to have you sign into QuickBooks Online. You're going to use that same email and same password that you used to set up when you purchased your account to go ahead and set this page up here. So once we set this page up here with your email, your password, everything like that, and you sign in, it's going to bring over and ask you whether you want to bring over your inventory. If you don't have inventory, this will not come over. You won't see this. If you do have inventory, even if you haven't used it in 5, 10, 20 years, this will show up. If you want to go ahead and bring it over, say yes, choose your starting date, and go with it. If you don't want to bring it over, say no, and it just won't bring over any inventory. If you've been actively using inventory, this is when you want to choose yes. If this comes up and you're like, wait, I didn't know I was tracking inventory, click no. Simple answer there. Then it's going to have you choose your QuickBooks company. And it's going to give you several options. If you've got only one company associated with your Intuit account, it will only bring up one. If you've got multiples, it will bring up multiples. In saying this, when we transfer to QuickBooks Online, if this is not a brand new QuickBooks Online file, it's going to wipe that entire file. Anything that's in there will disappear. So if you've been using QuickBooks Online and then you're going to transfer QuickBooks Desktop in there, all of the QuickBooks Online information will disappear. The other thing is, after an account is 3 months old, QuickBooks locks you from being able to transfer into it anymore. When they lock you from being able to transfer into it, you will have to either cancel the account, set up a new one, or call QuickBooks and they can unlock it for you. Again, this is where it can be very beneficial to work with a pro advisor who knows this process and knows what they're doing, as it takes a lot of the stress away from you so that you don't have to worry about all of this. Once you select your file here and you hit continue, we're going to go ahead and get this page here. And it's going to say we're transferring everything now, and we're just going to wait here. And we just want to kind of wait until everything is good. Then this page will either give us an error and tell us something went wrong, or it will give us a congratulations screen. Most of the time, it will be a congratulations screen, something that'll kind of look like this here. And it'll just be on this screen here. However, if you get an error, it'll generally tell you error moving over, and it may give you some information or a code as to why it didn't move over. If we didn't check your targets right, if we're not on the C drive, if there's several different reasons it can error out. So if you error out, this is really where you want to start talking with a pro advisor if you haven't already. Once you get this confirmation screen, that doesn't mean it's in QuickBooks yet. What that means is that it's transferring to QuickBooks, so that it was a successful start to the transfer. From there, it can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 12 to 24 hours to transfer everything over, depending on how big your file is. You will know that everything is done once you get an email notification saying, congratulations, your data is now available on QuickBooks Online. From there, you can then log into QuickBooks. You'll see all your data there. You do not want to start using QuickBooks Online immediately. What you first want to do is you want to run an accrual basis profit and loss and balance sheet in both desktop and online. And again, I said accrual basis. Even if you're on cash basis accounting, run it in accrual, because that's the only way that they will match up. You want to ensure that those two statements from both versions match up exactly. If they do not, figure out why. Sometimes money will move around because of an option not being available or something like that. And it does get a little more difficult when you're doing this transfer yourself. When a pro advisor helps you with this, the pro advisor gets an email that says, here's a list of what transferred over. Here's a list of what didn't transfer over. Here's your customers, here's your vendors, here's your transactions, here's your saved transactions, here's this. And it gives us a nice pretty list that we're able to go through and check everything on. You, if you are not a pro advisor, and if you're doing this transfer, will not get that. So again, that is why it's great and it's strongly recommended to use a pro advisor. Even if you're a simple transfer, even if you're a new business, even if you haven't used desktop very much, there's so much that a pro advisor can benefit you there with that it's generally worth the cost, so that you're not going back and hunting and pecking and digging around and scrounging around and trying to find a bunch of different things. Let's just be honest here. And again, like I said in the previous video, the versions are different. They look different, they work different. Even though fundamentally on the back end they're going to do exactly the same thing, they're going to look different and they're going to work different. Since they look different and they work different, having someone to help train you on everything is very beneficial. After you've gone through, you've gotten this congratulations email, you've checked everything, everything's good to go. Congratulations, you're done, you've moved to online. We've gone through, we've verified that you're able to move to online. We've gone through and we've verified that you transferred to online. We've gone through and made sure that it transferred correctly to online, because there's a difference between transferring and transferring correctly. It is two different things. I run into it all the time. But again, this is definitely an area where bringing in some experienced outside help, not just someone on desktop who says, oh, we can do it. Find someone who is used to doing these. Ask them questions. Go through this video. Hey, what about this? What about this? Ask them questions and make sure they know what they're talking about, or that they do this on a regular basis. For example, we do anywhere from 15 to 30 transfers a month. So we're very used to this. You want to find a company like that because they are used to anything that can happen, all the errors that can happen, while also helping to get you set up correctly. So if you have questions, if you need some more support, if you run into an error, if you worry about not being able to do this yourself, if you just aren't sure about which version to go with, any of that, don't hesitate to give us a call, reach out, whatever. You can reach us by emailing us at info@waterfordbusiness.com. or calling us at 229-584-8793. Thank you guys. I hope this was beneficial, and y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.